This class we are going to see everything about strings in Python. So to get started with, you can simply define a string using single quotes. Define anything inside it, this will be treated as a string. Any text inside it will be, or anything inside it will be treated as a string. So let's say I say hello, and if I just want to print this string, let me just make it string1, and then I'll change it to string1 and let me print this now. Okay, so now you can see here it's printing hello, which I defined here, right? You can also use double quotes to define a string, but whatever you use as start and end. You use same thing as starting and end. You can also use three quotes here and ending also, and it will be returned as same. Every time you can use any of these three, and every time the result will be same. Everything is treated as a string inside this. Okay, so now when you can use this, right? So let's say your string has a quote inside it. So hello, and how are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, I have a question mark. Let's say in between I just put a quote here, a single quote, or let's say double quote, anything I can put, and it is still, if you see, right, this color is, it's kind of telling me it's treating as a string. Let me just print it, and you can see that I'm able to print single quote, double quote, or whatever special character I'm trying to use inside it. It is treating everything as a string. But if I use only single quotes here, right, then that will not work, right? Because I already have a single quote here which is thinking, so everything defined inside it is a string. After that, it is just have some difficulty understanding. That's why you see it is saying it is not defined and all. If I run this, you will see there is an invalid syntax, right? So if your string is something like this, then it should go with the three quotes, so everything inside will be considered as a string. Okay, so now what we can do, we can try concatenating multiple strings, right? So this is hello, and let me create a string 2 and equal to how are you? Okay, so this is my second string, and if I want to add these two, I want to concatenate these two, I have to just use plus, and I can do this, right? So let me just print it. So you can see hello, how are you? Let me just give a space here so it's easy to read. Okay, hello, how are you? Okay, so I am using these two string and I'm printing both together. Okay, so we know how we can concatenate this, right? Let's see something else in this. Now let's say you have a this is string 2, right? String 2 is here. So let's say if I put /n here, and then call me back. Okay, let's say how are you /n, call me back. So what does this mean, right? So the /n here, right, which is defining it as like it is the next line. Let me print it, and you can see hello, how are you, call me back is coming in the next line. Okay, I just give extra space here, that's why it's treating, there is a giving a space. So you can see here hello, how are you. You can see I can put as much I want, call me back ASAP, let's say, and it will go to the third line, right? Hello, how are you, call me back ASAP, right? So this is one thing. Now you can also do, let me create another string and we'll try something else this time. So this is my string 3, and let's say this is a sample string, and this time what we can use is we can use /t, and this is basically tabbed it, right? So we do tabbing. So if I put a tab, it goes to some, it takes some proper indentation, right? It gives me 3-4 places and then it goes further, right? So if I do /t, that is kind of a tabbing this this particular string. From this value, this will be get tabbed. Let me print it and you'll understand what I'm saying. So okay, sorry, I want to print string 3. Okay, So print it, and you'll see this is a sample string, and you'll see there is a tab in between, right? There is a proper gap in between. So this is like how I can tab. This is like next line, this is tabbing. So these are few things that I just wanted to show you, that you can use something like this in a string, and it can format it. Okay, so now we will see something like how we can you have a very big string. Okay, and if you want to make it uh, you want to split it, how we can do it, right? So let's define this string a little bigger. Hello, how are you? I'm calling to check if you are interested to go out. Okay, so this is my string, and let's say I want to split everything, or if I want to just split it, so there is a function which is already there in the our str objects, right? Like, so everything here is a string, right, and which is defined as a str in Python, right? So let's say if I just string one dot split, the split is a function in string. So if I do this, let's see what happens, right? I'm just saying split string one, which is here, and then saying split. So let's see now what it happens. This makes, if you see here, right, it's printed everything separated. It's like it's a list, right? It's a list of whatever uh, words I had here, right? So everything is made it as a list. Even if you see here, right, even the space and comma also, everything. Now the split function you can also use to define where you want to put your split, right? So let's say if I want to put a split for the comma, that's also work. I have to define whenever you see comma, then just split my string. Let's run this, and you see, so now this list has hello, how are you, and then you see there is a next line, because there is no comma here, right? There is no comma till here, so it's just splitting into three parts. Okay, now let's say this is comma, right? So let's say you want to do it with a space. Okay, so I'll just put one space here. So this is a space, guys. Okay, and if I run this, so this is making it's making every space here, right? Every space, and there's a dividing. So basically it's the same as what we got earlier. So if you don't define anything, directly it takes the space and do the split for you. So that is by default it does. Okay, now let's say you will always get when you're working with any Python project or any data science project, you are getting a big string which you want to split to make it more readable, right, or more usable, like in sentence format or something. So if it has a full stop, right? So let's say if I put a full stop here, right, or if I put a couple of spaces, right, or even the next line. See, so now this is basically next line, right? And we learned how this next line or the slash n work, right? So let's say if I say split it wherever you see slash n, slash is like it reading as a next line. So if you see, this is two different lines now for this, right? So it will split now, right, like that. So if you see, this is one particular one part, and this is the another part, and it's actually splitting using the next line. Okay, so it's splitting like that. Okay, you can use anything which you want to use. It can be a space, it can be two spaces, it can be a full stop, anything. Okay, let me put a full stop and show you if that happens. So basically it does for everything, right? So so you can split this. This is very useful when you're actually working with NLP projects and all, where if you want to split your big string, or you can actually do it, and you can use it putting in a list. Okay, now we'll see something. So we'll learn how we can concatenate, right? So when it comes to a place where your string has I mean, you have a lot of strings and you want to concatenate, it doesn't look any good. So for example, let me just clean this, and okay, hello, I'll just make this hello string. Okay, and let me create another string called name. and then I'll put name here, okay, Sam, and putting a comma here, okay. Or I can put a separator or something, just calling it separator, and I'll put a comma here. So what does this mean? I'm saying I want to add all this, okay. String 1, let me just put quickly, and name plus separator which I'm using, and string 2. Okay, so basically I'm adding string 1, name, this particular string, and the string 2. Okay, if I run this, hello Sam, how are you, call me back ASAP, right? So you see I am using this 4 different strings and I'm concatenating and printing it. Okay, so but if you see, right, this is getting little ugly now, right? If I keep on adding, and this is not even, this isn't a variable. Let's say if I have to add some particular string here, right? So I have to add something like this, right? Something like this. Now if I'm doing something, this will get confusing very soon enough. If I have a long string which I'm trying to count, this will get very confusing. So let me show you. So if you see here, it's giving me everything correctly, but this will get very confusing, like where to put this, where to add, and what to add, right? So there is another way, and which is like pretty much useful to do, because that will make our life easy while we are doing this. So now what we are printing, I'll just save this, what we have here, and we'll try to print the same thing using our way. Okay, so now let me delete this. Okay, so that is like we can create a placeholder for this. So when you create two braces here, sorry, the two brackets here, the curly brackets, so this makes, you're giving a placeholder, right? You're making a placeholder, and so how many placeholder we want 1, and let's say 2, and then call me back this one, right? And 4, so total 4 we want. Okay, and in first one string goes, in second one and the last one is separator. So I'm saying I have this here and I'm just leaving, and if I print this, let me use so this is what we have to use. Okay, F defines one second, yeah, now it should be fine. Okay, so what I'm saying, this is a F which is saying format, okay, and then my string. So for string I'm using the same thing. If you see here, right, I'm just putting it, making it as a string, and inside it is a placeholder, and we are putting all the variables. So if I don't have a variable, see this separator which I was using here, let me print this and you'll see I'm getting the same input first thing. Okay, I'm getting the same input, right? Let's say in this separator, sorry, this sep variable which I created just for comma, right, I can just remove this. Okay, and I can actually put here comma, and because everything is a string inside this, right, it will it will make it same. So if you see, I'm getting the comma, right, and see here you might notice I'm getting 2 spaces, so it's already making formatting for me. I don't need to put any spaces. If I run this again, you'll see it's already making all the formatting correct for me. It's giving a gap and everything, so it's actually making all the formatting correct. And also I can put, commas and all inside it, and it actually formats it all correctly. So this is an intelligent way to do it, and it's easy when you have a code, when you're working on a large chunk of code. So this will be make your life easier. Okay, now coming to, like, if you have a strings, right, and what you can do. So just to give you idea, what you can do is, and this is not goes with any string, this is for any, any data type you are using, or any Python original classes you are using. So what you can do is you can use dir function, and you can provide what is it, right? So let's say I'm just going to tell, oh, this is for the string. Okay, so if I run this, let's see what happens. So you see here, this is giving me what all are the libraries for string. See, it is giving, right? You can add, you can run contain, so there is dir talk, so everything here, right? And we already see we use something like we use split, right? So split should be also there. Yeah, so you see split is also there, right? And likewise this is one function, so likewise there are a lot of functions which is already available for strings, right? So you can use all this, and this gives you idea that this all libraries, sorry, this all functions are there for if you're doing operations in strings, right? Not a string. I'm using a string here because the type which I defined, I'm working with strings, right? So I just define this. And if you want to go in detail, let's say we try the split, right? So in that case you can also try, so that we know this is a string, so I'll just call this string str, and dot, we know there is a function called split which is here, right? If I want to see in detail this, okay, so if I run this, we go down, oh okay, this is a function, wait, what did I do? Okay, this is split str dot split, and this is two brackets. Okay, oh, I'm so sorry, this I'm in directory, I should go in help. So I'm just trying to show you what this does, right? You can see that short description. Now you can see this is giving you what it can do. So this return a list of words in the string using separator or delimiter string. So this is split, it returns the list of words. So whatever string you are passing, it returns a list of words using a separator delimiter. So whatever it's there, right, it will return separated, and it will just return you whatever. And you can also define the separator, whatever we talked, right? So it will give you all details here. And this is goes with anything that if you want to use, let's say we have a function called upper, right? I'll show you what it does. So what it's saying, okay, I don't know what happened. Okay, return a copy of the string converted in uppercase. So what it's saying, if you use upper, that will return a copy of the string converted into uppercase. So let's try it out. So here, let me print the string one. So this we are using string one. If I do dot upper, so you'll see, let me just take this out. So it will print me, oh sorry, this is method. Okay, now you see the hello I passed here, right? So this is giving me an uppercase. Okay, and if I do lower, it will give me lowercase. So all these functions are there available. Okay, I'm going to take another example, and this time let me comment this. Okay, and let me uncomment this one. So what I'm doing here, I have given a location here, so I'm creating another variable called location and giving some location from my local, right? So I'm just giving in C colon, and from this particular location go to this folder, and I have something like this. Let's say I'm saying this as a string. Okay, now let's see if I try to print something like this, what happens, right? So you see, okay, I'm getting some error. Okay, but I have given correct location and everything. So problem is when you provide something like backslash and all, right, something which is very common when you're providing any location, there is a trouble which Python understand this. So there are a couple of ways to handle this. One is like you put another backslash here, like wherever you have, and this gives you the formatting correctly. And let me try to run this, and you see what it returned me correctly. It returned me this correctly, right? Or let's say if you don't want to do that, and you have easy way to do is like you just make it, very readable format. right? So I'll just add R here, and if you see, it will be like a readable format now. If I run, you'll see this is coming all correctly. Okay, so this is another thing which can be very easily, I mean, you'll get into. So this is very common, so keep that in mind. You have to provide in location, then you should use this. Okay, so that's all for strings. Put it in a comment if you require anything else on strings. I can definitely try to cover it in another video. Thank you, everyone. If you have learned something from the class, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit on the bell notification. So next time when I upload a video, you'll get notified. Thanks for watching.